Welcome to the AI Literacy Podcast, where we feature real AI solutions built by non-technical people with the hopes of inspiring others to take control of AI and create your own AI assistant. We are at the intersection where innovation meets education. In today's episode, we're diving into the world of AI-driven solutions for schools across Kansas. Join us as we explore how we are using a groundbreaking tool that can empower teachers, streamline administrative tasks, and transform how we approach AI as a tool to support K-12 education. Featuring insights from Jara Wilson and Sarah Perryman for USA Kansas and Alan Landover, founder and CTO of Landover AI, and our host. This is a conversation you won't want to miss.
Well, hi, everybody. Thanks so much for taking a few minutes to join this podcast and listen to us. And I'm Al Landover with Landover AI and had the great fortune the last couple of months to be partnering with USA Kansas on some projects where we're introducing some AI tools to schools and just seeing some tremendous, exciting results. And I'd like to introduce Jara and Sarah. Actually, ask you guys to maybe take a moment to introduce yourselves. So, Jara, could you please say hi to everybody?
Sure, yes. Hi, my name's Jara Wilson. I work with USA Kansas. My role there is Assistant Director of Leadership and Learning, where I facilitate quite a bit of professional development for administrators across the state, as well as do coaching and just support, all things support for administrators across the state of Kansas. And most recently, have got to work with Alan on this chatbot and AI assistant work, and it's really exciting work. So thanks, Alan.
Sarah?
Yeah, hi, I'm Sarah Perryman. I work with USA Kansas as the Impact and Advancement Specialist. So really what that means is I get to do all of the program evaluation, analyzing the impact of the work that we are doing, and then promote that using social media and other tools to advance best practices and advance the organization. So I've been using the chatbot to streamline some of those tasks and to help move the learning forward in new and different ways.
Great. Thank you so much. And both of you have a career of history in the classroom as well.
Correct.
And I spent a little bit of time as a science teacher early on in my career, but kind of quickly took the path of tech guy. So that's kind of where I went with it. So we're going to talk more about the specifics of the tool in a few minutes, but I think the best thing to do is just let's see what we're talking about. We've built some exciting stuff. So Jara, do you want to take a few minutes and share your screen and show us the chatbot that we've been getting such great feedback on?
So we have built several chatbots to just help schools around the state of Kansas. One of them that we've built is called a writing evaluation assistant. And we've built this to just come alongside teachers to help them with the work that they're doing. This could be for English teachers, but it could also be for content area teachers that are assigning writing. We see this as a real help to maybe brand new teachers or teachers that don't have the pedagogy background yet, to help them keep their evaluation and their rigor and student expectations at a high level, to be able to give them high level feedback. So this chatbot, we've built a knowledge base on the backside of it, and we equipped the knowledge base with the standards and the learning progressions, as well as information on the 6 traits of writing. If there's a different writing model that someone uses, we could equip it with that knowledge base as well. So you start out here with enter the student name and their email address. That way you can match the writing with the student information. So I put in the student name and the student information here. And then it says, please paste the student writing sample here. So here's where I was going to copy the student writing, and then I would paste it where it says type here. We've put in some example essays here just to help us with our testing. So here's a 12th grade essay. And then it says, please tell me what grade level standards. And so since a 12th grade student, those are grade band standards. So 11th, 12th grade band. So I'll put that 11th, 12th grade standards I want it to give me feedback on. And we've asked this chatbot to give a teacher feedback report as well as a student feedback report. And we've asked it to give information on the standards that are applicable to the student's writing. So here, standard 2, it's telling me that the student met the standard, and it's giving me an example of why. We've asked the chatbot to tell us whether the student met the standard, partially met the standard, or did not meet the standard. And we asked it to give us information on the 6 traits of writing as well. So you can see here, here's feedback for the teacher right away, immediate feedback on the student, what standards that they've met, what standards they've partially met and or not met. And then here's some suggestions that the teacher could give to the student. Here's some recommendations for that piece of writing. And then here's a student summary report that if the teacher wanted, they could copy and paste this. They could adjust it as they wanted, feedback to give to the student right away. The teacher can email this report to them. They could ask more questions of the chatbot. Can you give me feedback on maybe a specific standard or whatever? Or they can email it and then just start right again with the next student. You'll notice here we didn't ask this chatbot to give a score. We just asked it to say met, partially met, or did not meet. We could ask it to give a score, but we didn't want to because the goal of this chatbot is not to take the teacher out of the equation. The goal is to give the teacher back to the students. So get the teacher maybe away from their desk and grading and get them with the student. They can walk up to a student with this feedback in hand and say, hey, let's look at this together. So our goal with this is not to take teachers out of the equation. It's to give the teacher back to the student. Alan, would you like me to share more on that?
Yeah, but also I'm curious, Sarah, what are your thoughts about this? I mean, you as a former ELA teacher, how would this tool be used for you?
Yeah, so I taught 9 through 12 ELA, and I only worked with students who spoke English as a second language. So the attention to grammar and those language skills and language development was always at the forefront of what I wanted to do and the feedback I wanted to give. With 100 students, the final day of the semester, and all of those essays, giving every student the level of feedback that they really deserved was very challenging. And so being able to have some support in editing those papers for students and putting the commas and the periods and making note of what students are struggling with when it comes to punctuation and grammar, having an assistant to help with that would have allowed me more time to conference with students about writing, to better identify areas for intervention and need, to possibly group students, to be more targeted in some of those mini lessons that I did when it came to grammar and writing. At the end of reading 100 essays, sometimes your brain is swimming with what are the trends, who needs what. And so having a tool that could streamline and say, hey, these are some things that we noticed within your students, or here are those initial edits. So you don't have to mark it up with a red pen yourself. You can just talk with students about that, or decide how many of those are necessary for students to chew on at that time. So there's a lot of time that teachers spend reading essays and giving feedback. And like Jara said, if we can streamline some of that to give the teacher back to students, to conference about writing and to better align interventions and those mini lessons, I think teachers will really benefit from having that time given to them to focus on the students and not trying to sit there and correct every issue with punctuation.
Right. And as somebody who had a lot of essays come back with covered in red marks, having that feedback come in a different form and having the teacher be able to have the time to really be a guide like that, I mean, I think that's going to be really impactful. Jared, do you want to take a second and just show the knowledge base and show how we've trained this chatbot? Because I think that that's a really critical thing here, is that these chatbots that we're building, we're equipping with the information that we want them to be talking about. We're filling it up with knowledge from websites or documents or text files or examples of things that we want it to be aware of and behave like. So these are all these documents and that we've uploaded into this knowledge base. So when it's doing its assessment, it's not like looking out to the world of large language model, heaven, where just, OpenAI is born from. It's looking just at our stuff, just at the good resources and guidance that we're giving it. So that's just a super powerful part of this. So, okay, well, I think we've we've done a good job with that piece, and we're going to move on to our next segment. And Jara, it's gonna come back to you, and I'd like to, super excited about this. The idea of this AI literacy initiative that we're seeing come to life around us, and be in the middle of it. Jared, do you want to spend a few minutes and just talk about what we've been doing in August and what our plans are for September and going forward?
Yes, so we have met with over 80 administrators during the month of August and just talked with them about AI assistants, how to build them, what the benefits are of them. We showed them how to build that, and how we can build a knowledge base that students can use or teachers can use. But that knowledge base is based upon the research or the information that we want people to be pulling from. And it's not pulling from anything in the world. And so that is minimizing the hallucinations, which is super comforting, I think, if we're asking students to do any work with AI. I really like that we've been able to show them the safety features behind it, and the data is safe. Anything that we upload to that is safe, and we don't have to worry about what it's being used for on the back end. And then we've been able to show people as well that they can see the conversations that students or whoever's having with the chatbots, and we can see the feedback that the chatbot is giving, and we can iterate that and ask it to give better feedback or different feedback. So we've been able to work with, like I said, over 80 administrators during the month of August, and moving forward, we have a couple of cohort groups that have people that have signed up and said, hey, we want to start building our own chatbots for our purpose that can move our work forward, that can impact student learning. And so we have a couple of groups coming together, one in the eastern part of the state, one in the western part of the state, to work with people and help them launch their journey of building AI assistants as well.
That really aligns with where we want to go as an organization with our vision of world-class leadership and world-class student success. That, the role of the principal, the school leader, can get so bogged down with management and managerial type tasks. And there's a way that we can streamline processes and get that off of the leader's plate, so that they can get back in classrooms and back working with their staff and with students. We know that will lead to that student success that we all want to see across the state. So again, removing that fear of the unknown and giving leaders the tools that they need to take advantage of this moment in time, as opposed to being resistant to a change, but saying, how can I use this in a way that's going to give me back my time and give me back my attention to the things that really matter? I saw an article the other day that said, AI won't take your job, but someone who knows how to use AI will. And I think that's really the moment that we're at, is AI isn't coming for the teacher or coming for the work, it's coming along to help. And if we can find ways to build systems that are more helpful and allow us to free up our time and our energy to give it to the things that matter most, then I think this is a great opportunity. So I'm really excited about where this work is going, and to hear that so many individuals are ready to take that step to use technology in a way that will give them back the parts and pieces of their day and of their life that they can invest in what matters. And we know that will in turn lead to better outcomes for students when we're able to give them those adults back.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I think that obviously it's such a new technology. I mean, it's not all that new. It's been around for a long time. We've all been doing AI stuff for a long time, but it's the fact that it's about to take over the world. Our realization of that has come to new. And there's so many tools that people are coming out with, and the products that are coming out that are AI enhanced, or all this stuff built in. And it's a mystery, right? It's just this little, literally called magic school, right? It's magic, right? This magic thing. Well, we want to take the magic out of this. It's not magic. It's just a tool. It's pretty simple. You can upload your knowledge like you would upload to a Google Drive, and now you can build a chatbot, and which is also a very simple process, which we'll be showing you. We've got some videos to show people, and that's what we're doing in these workshops. Is we're empowering these educators by letting them build a chatbot in literally 10 minutes. Build a chatbot trained on the school schedule, and now you can ask it questions about the school schedule. That's what we did in our webinars, and we're mostly successful in all instances, and literally just me talking somebody through doing it. So by letting them do it themselves and helping them, coaching them through it, and helping them be successful, building an AI assistant that's trained on this is the stuff of miracles, and we're doing it ourselves. Our all the participants in this program are going to be do it themselves. So what better way to be literate than to be a creator, right? I mean, that's really what we're talking about doing with that. So,
I think that's interesting. There was a quote that said the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who can't read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn a new way of being. So right in line with this literacy component of it's not about, knowing one certain thing, it's about knowing how to interact with that system. So I like that.
Right. And you had that experience, Sarah. I mean, we worked together and we built a pretty powerful AI assistant. Do you want to talk a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, so one of the goals that I had for our organization this year was to enhance some of our social media accounts by putting out content around what it is that we do every day. So the learning that we teach, we don't want it to be a secret. We want folks to know how to be better and more effective leaders. And so wanting, again, to get that content out there. And so writing routinely can be a cumbersome task. And so I was able to build a chatbot where I said, these are the things that I want to write about and talk about. Here are some samples of things I've written in the past to establish my voice and writing style. But here's what I want to talk about. Here are the articles I would use to enhance my knowledge and to support the statements that I want to make. And instead of me sitting down with my 5 articles and creating something every month, we were able to build a chatbot where I can say, this is the style that I would like to employ. This is the learning I would like you to utilize, and based on my personality that's so bright in my writing, and based on this research, can you replicate that? And we've been really successful in doing that. And so with that chatbot, I'm able to create articles that we can publish and create different iterations of that. So I can put in different writing styles or samples and different combinations of research articles to curate different iterations of the same thing to pull really what speaks to me most. So again, it's not that AI is taking the task away. It's just doing some of that intense labor to free me up of some time. But there's still an incredible amount of attention and intention that is put into creating those articles and synthesizing the best of what's been created together to bring the best product to consumers on our social media pages. And just this last week, we were promoting a program and decided, it might be helpful if we had an article about why learning this topic is so important for leaders. And so I turned to our chatbot, gave it a sample of my writing in the past, put in the articles that I thought were most important. And then from that, we were able to create an article that will go in our next magazine, really giving a deeper look at a workshop that we have coming up.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So it's like in a pinch, it's going to help you out. And in your monthly article churn and that work, yeah, I think it really lets you work at a deeper level. I mean, so the final product is reflective of your efforts and your work, but you're able to put more time into the hard, the deeper thinking parts of it. So yeah, it's
and feel like I'm getting the use out of it, right? When I'm finding 7 or 8 different articles every month, if I was writing myself, I would probably pull a few because that would be more manageable, right? Doing that every month. But because I want to use the chatbot and pull all of the best and be able to really use all the best research, it's just a much simpler way to get all of that curated. And then again, I can go through and still be that final voice and the final reviewer of the information. But again, like you said, being able to do deeper work because the initial task is supported.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, That's terrific. It's a fantastic little chatbot assistant, and we'll do another video where we go into the technical deep dive of it. But essentially what it allows you to do is um, it's asking you. It's been trained. We've trained it on a lot of examples and a lot of writing style, a lot of stuff. So it can write the way we want to write, but you may want to do an article that's in a style of a letter to your dear colleague letter, right? Or it might be a research type of an article. So you can guide it in its output, and you can also upload it's part of the chat interaction, the articles that you want to be referencing. So you don't have to, even though it's simple to train it and simple to add knowledge to the knowledge base, you don't need to do that. You just need to find your articles, and then as part of your chat, just share those links and share the content of those articles with it, and then it's able to do that. So really robust little chatbot, that chat assist. I want to call them assistants, little AI assistant that we're excited to show people, because I think it'll be clear that there's a lot of ways that this could be of to use. So, Jara, do you want to maybe take the lead in this next segment? I wanted to get into a little bit deeper of the nuances of chatling, but I think it'd be easier to kind of answer questions and just show stuff. So, do you want to? I'll share my screen, and you can ask me what you want me to do.
Okay, Alan, that sounds great. I think let's start with the knowledge base. We talked about we get to build our own knowledge base. Can you tell me what types of tools or documents, what can I use to build my knowledge base with?
Yeah, sure. Here's the knowledge base for the evaluator writing assignment, one that you had showed. You notice we've got a lot of Google Drives, and we've got, links here. So to add more content to a knowledge base is literally as simple as putting in a website right here, and it will copy 1,000 links off of that website, or if there's internally. So all of that content on that website will now be the chatbot will be smart about that. If it's bigger, then we put a sitemap in, and it'll do more than 1,000 of internal links. And you can even like tweak them, so you got a lot of advanced settings, so you can clean it up so it won't take some stuff that you don't need. If you've just got bunch of URLs, your web quest, right? This is the web quest, the new web quest is going to be building a chatbot. You're going to take all of the URLs, stick them in here, and submit. It's going to train the chatbot on all the content of that. Or just copy and paste text, or it could be a frequently asked question type, really structured format. If they say this, then this is the answer. Or PDFs or text files or Word documents. Throw 10 of them at a time in here. It's drag and drop. It's literally that simple to put knowledge into the chatbot.
Very good. So what happens to the information, if I put information into a chatbot, what happens to that information on the back side of it?
When we say we put information in, we train the chatbot, we make it smarter on our stuff. Some people we all use computers, so we think about saving, right? We save to a hard drive, and we can retrieve off a hard drive. That's not how it works with AI models. When you give more information to it, you're training it. It's really, you're just asking it to go do math on your stuff. So it takes your PDF or your Word document, and it just applies an algorithm to it, number crunches it, and then adds that math to the large language model, and it deletes your document because it doesn't need your document anymore. And it will never be able to reproduce your document. It'll know about your stuff. It'll be able to talk to you about that stuff, but it will never be able to print a copy of that PDF that you put into there.
When the chatbot is used, can I see what questions have been asked, or how the chatbot is responding? Can I see what feedback the chatbot is giving to the users?
Yeah, absolutely. So here we are, we're at the dashboard for your chatbot, and I'll click on conversations. And when we go here, we can see, this is the conversation you just had with it. So here's all the conversations that the chatbot has, and then we can see the detail of it. And then after the chatbot's response, this is really, really powerful. There's a link that says fine tune this answer. So when you click on fine tune this answer, you can literally go right in here and, so I'll say it like that, or include this information or whatever. And you hit fine tune. That's the same thing as if you would have gone to the knowledge base and added a frequently asked question. So that will directly update the knowledge base. So not only can you review what people have asked the chatbot and get a sense of maybe everybody's asking the same question. I probably should teach that part a little better, right? But you can also see how the chatbot's responding, and you can tweak that. So it's a lot of power with that.
Alan, can you show us how to instruct the chatbot to do what we're wanting it to do and take
Sure.
on the role that we want it to take on?
Sure. Over here also, where we pick our blocks, we can click on AI configuration and instructions, and literally we're just typing in natural language instructions that are helping to guide the behavior of the chatbot. So, and this is an iterative process when we're building these chatbots. There's, like I said, never say the same thing twice. We can increase our odds of it being really, really good, but it's never 100% sure what's going to happen. But by adding instructions in, we can further kind of fine tune and guide its behavior. And it literally could be anything from like talk like a pirate to, can use bullet points, right? Whatever you want to tell it how its behavior is going to be. So we have prompts where we add information to guide the AI. So we have prompts throughout within our chatbot development, but we also have the instructions, and that's basically how we make it work. Is we're tweaking it by changing the prompt and changing the instructions.
Thank you. So earlier I mentioned the safety features that come along with this tool that we use to build our chatbots with. Can you tell us a little more about those safety features?
Sure. The product that we're using is called Chatling, and anybody who's interested in taking a look at it, we've got a link in our description, so please use that link. That's our affiliate link. But I'm going to go to the very bottom of the Chatling website and go to the Trust Center. What they have here is everything you'd be interested in, cybersecurity wise, all the information you would need to look up would be here to feel good about that. Worth noting is Chatling is GDPR compliant. This is the highest standard for data center data security compliance from the European Union. There is no equivalent of that in the United States. So it's the global standard for data center security and how they handle user data. Europe has a lot higher standards for that than we do. All of the services and everything are running on servers, in the US. To maintain that compliance, they have to go through a lot of audits and do that kind of stuff. So, and what I think is really important to point out is just like 11 Labs, like when we started, we used to do the voiceover thing. That's a wrapper that goes around that text to speech AI model. Well, what we're doing here is a wrapper that goes around that model too. Here's all of the different large language models that we can make use of. So we're just a wrapper around the large language model of the day. So when the next latest and greatest model comes out that's got more features, we're going to be able to make use of it. Actually, new one just came out. We can now make chatbots that will accept voice input. So we can have a student read to the chatbot, right? How cool is that? And then it's going to analyze what, that. I mean, that opens up a lot of possibilities. So anyway, so as new stuff comes out,
I'm just thinking about all those teachers that have to do those oral reading fluency tests all the time of, oh gosh, what a time saver that could be.
So once I've made a chatbot, if I'm a school principal and I've made that evaluating a writing tool chatbot, but I'm not grading writing tools, my teachers are, do they have to build one too? Or how can they utilize the chatbot? Can more than one person in my district utilize it? How can we make that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So super easy to do that. All you got to do is publish the chat. So when you're done with the builder, you click publish, and then right here we just copy this link, and that link is the chatbot. Or if you want to get a little bit fancier and a little bit of HTML code, you can copy and paste the script and put it into the header on the web page, the header of the HTML code on the web page, and this chatbot will float on top of the website like normal chatbots do. In a little corner, click the thing, it opens up, and that kind of stuff. So distribution is like ridiculously simple. It used to be a big pain. until December, January last year, to do this kind of thing, you'd have to build a tool from scratch, right? That was the way to do it. So now these services are out, and this one is pretty solid. Not to say there's not going to be another one, for sure. There's going to be more. It lets us leapfrog a little bit on some people that may have even started a year or so ahead of us.
Well, Alan, I think that speaks to just how many things people are putting on their shoulders to do themselves, not realizing that there could be tools and technology spaces out there where they can, dig in and remove that as something that's on their plate. So I think this conversation around AI literacy and just being aware of all of those opportunities that are coming about every day and saying, man, I don't have to do this anymore because I don't have to do this anymore. I can create a system that takes this off my plate, and then I can focus on what's more meaningful and more impactful.
Right. Or take it to a deeper level. It's just so exciting. This has been a really good conversation. I think we've done a good job of highlighting some of the great stuff that we've been working on. We've had people signing up for the webinars, and we've got 2 sets of cohorts about to start in the beginning of September. We'll be heading out to Dodge City. It's my first time in Dodge City, Kansas, so I'm very excited about that. For a Jersey boy, that seems like you made it when you're trying to make it to Dodge City. So we're gonna have 2 cohorts. We're gonna work full day with groups of people and get them all comfortable and trained, and then work for 2 weeks with them online as they build chatbots, and then bring them all back together for a special show and tell session that I'm just really excited about that, to see the kind of stuff that people are going to build and just the ideas that I could do this too and that and this other one. That's going to be really fun. I just want to thank you both again. You really have been a great part of this, and couldn't do it without you. And just really excited for the next step. Hope folks like this podcast. Please join, like, subscribe, whatever you're supposed to do, wherever you find this thing. And we've got a YouTube channel too. Please check the descriptions. We're going to have lots of information in the description also. Thanks again. Appreciate everybody.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Walking down that country road, sunset painting gold, lonely miles with stories told and dreams bestowed. I think of classrooms brimming bright, chasing futures in the Kansas night, how AI's changing what we write. Are they finding wonders? Are they reaching higher? Does technology inspire, transforming every single wire? Do teachers see the difference? Feel the weight uplifted? What makes them try? What lifts them high in a future newly gifted? Podcasts help change is great, streamlining test and lessening weight, empowering the minds we elevate. From first bell to the evening late, in every school a future bright, Kansas dreams anew each night. Are they finding wonder? Are they reaching higher? Does technology inspire, transforming every single wire? The teachers see the difference, feel the weight uplifted. What makes them try? Lift them high, and future new gifted. Around the state we spread the word, echoes in the flame tails heard of AI's promise to transform the classroom's heart. Are they finding wonder? Are they reaching higher? Does technology inspire, transforming every single wire? The teachers see the difference, feel the weight uplifted. What makes them try? In a future newly gifted.